I'm Sam Mitchell. These are my stories. Hey folks, have a good day today. Let me first welcome you to Autism Rocks and Rolls. Now before we begin, let's know that I'm not a psychiatrist. If you're starting to be diagnosed with autism, please see a physician. I was based on my experiences. I was regarding to the intro and after that found on ytmp3.com. I also have a misstatement to review with all of you. The mission of Autism Rocks and Rolls is to take the stigma off of autism and other conditions that may think disabilities. People with spectrum are not broken and do not need to be fixed. Those are conditions or abilities are not to be pitied. There's nothing to be sorry about. They also have some paid for the following. We have a new sponsor for our gala. It is our friend the Fowler Pumpkin Patch. Thank you, Perry and Renee Fowler. Extreme Structures is a dealership located in Bedford, Indiana that requires inspection. Extreme Structures is owned and run by a military family. They work in more than 20 states around the country. Authorized dealer for American Steel, Ace Steel Carports, North Edge Steel, and Carolina Carports, customized metal garages, RV covers, carports, and commercial-grade buildings are their areas of expertise, regardless of size. They carry them all. Kindly contact them for a quote right now. There are some people I'd like to thank. This is more of an announcement, but AR did have our second board retreat and our monthly board meeting. Through the retreat and the meeting, we discussed our database coming up very soon. And since the last episode, I've been on the Ugandan Boy Talk Show podcast with Bonnie Kibiwak and Letha's Real Talk podcast with Belle Outspoken. What great podcast, everyone. Now, folks, we'll be right back here an ad from the Woolery Mill, so let's get to it. In Bloomington, Indiana, on Sunstone Drive, you should stop by the Woolery Mill because it is in the title. It's one world. Henry Woolery first constructed the Woolery Mill, featuring enormous windows, exposed beams, and high ceilings in the NUMO. It has been since renovated into an industrial cheek space. One World at the Woolery Mill is a complete event facility that provides a long list of conventions and facilities, along with a great place to get together with loved ones. This classic place is concentrating on improving rather than expanding. We are proud to be locally owned, independent business that aims to imbue its offerings with the unique spirit of Bloomington. Also to contribute positively to our community. We help our community members as well as the incredible NGOs in the region whenever we can. We will be holding our gala there in April as a result of this assistance. Make sure to attend. In addition to being for gals like the Fowler Pumpkin Patch, it provides wedding services. At 76,000 square feet, located on the historic register, Woolery Mill offers exclusive use of the building and grounds, numerous outdoor areas for the ceremonies to be held on site. Make your Woolery Mill reservation now for your wedding coming up. All right, folks, I'm back, and I like to move it, but I like to mill it. For today, I have my new friend, Matteo Esposito. Matteo is a playwright, set designer, and singer-songwriter from Ontario. He is best known for his one act on autism called Sorting It Out, and 2 of his plays have gone to Broadway. However, he has come through rough times due to having 10 surgeries and many doctor visits, as well as getting bullied. However, it did not stop him from going to college and becoming a successful screenwriter for his short YouTube series that is going to the Los Angeles Film Festival. Let's welcome the awe-inspiring and blunt Matteo Esposito to the podcast. Matteo, what's up, my new friend?
Hey, nice to meet you, Sam, and nice to be with all of you. Thank you so much for having me on.
So my first question to my main man is, what does having autism mean to you?
That's a really good question. So what does autism mean to me? Well, autism, as people understand it, is a neurodivergent. I wouldn't say condition, but it's a disorder. People say, oh, it's a condition. I hate the word condition. It's a disorder. People should be educated. But the main thing is autism is unique. To me, it's a blessing and a curse because there's certain gifts that I get, like playwriting, and curses like I can't drive. There's a lot of people that sarcasm and joking, and there's a lot of stuff that I don't get. And it makes me angry that I can't get it because I'm autistic. But I think it's so unique that people don't value us in society, and they should. So we are assets more than liabilities. I'm here to tell the world that we are here to stay. Why do you think that people are saying autism is on the rise? Because it's true. I'll tell you something. I was telling a principal, some of these high school students are going to be lawyers, doctors, entertainers, teachers. What if they have an nonverbal autistic child? The whole world play down like that. They haven't known about autism for their whole life. I could talk about this subject all day about how people need to treat us more fairly and more kind. Not only that, people need to treat anybody and everybody kind. This world is going to be, I hate to say that, this world is going more corrupt every single day.
You said that we think differently. Why don't you tell us how we do that? I know how we do. I want to hear from your perspective.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. That's actually a good question. Nobody has ever asked me that before, but I don't mind. I like it. It's the same. If you met one person with autism, you only met one person with autism. Same with a human. If you only met one human, you only met one human. We all think differently. We all feel differently. Like some people like smooth, some people like soft. I love smooth and soft. Some people like rough and hard. Most autistic people don't. But there's a lot of people that love the arts, music, theater, performing arts, script writing. And I think the best thing is to get involved with what you love and to use the talents that your brain has given you. If you're hearing music, you should be music. If you have a gift for telling stories, you should be telling stories. I like to talk about my interests, and my interest is performing arts, theater. That's my quote-unquote obsession. You can't really see it, but you can actually think it.
I see where you're coming from, Matteo, because a lot of people, in my opinion, who are on the autism spectrum, like something that involves production, fixation, man. I have that same interest. I'm doing a broadcasting thing right now.
Keep doing that. I appreciate my fellow autistic people putting their lives out there and telling stories like mine and yours, because that's what we can do to give this little bit of hope and to give this world a little bit of a push to make it a better place.
What advice would you give to someone who would just learn they had autism?
3 words: join the club. There's a lot of people who are misdiagnosed. I think I have autism. Get checked out. Don't assume. I hate when people assume. People assume on our breed all the time. I love when people ask me or tell me, you look pretty good that you have autism. You don't look like you have autism. You know what I say? Does autism have a look? No. So first it comes off as a smart ass remark, then it becomes a dumb ass remark. That's how I think about it. Like, you don't look like you have autism. Yes. But does autism have a look, sir or miss? No. Dumbass. People think of a disability, they think physical. No. It can be mental as well. It can be cognitive.
It's very frustrating that you have to miss a leg to get empathy.
I lovingly say it's not a Disney attraction, but it's a 360 experience. It's called life. Have you ever heard about it? If life throws you a curveball coming back at 20 miles per hour, things can come anywhere and everywhere. And what I'm trying to get at is, when an unknown curveball comes in, will make you very uncomfortable. I take the risk because it might pay off.
I wonder how you heard about me. I never got to ask you, how did you find me, my friend? Did I fall in your lap, or what the heck happened with that?
That's a good question. Betsy.
No, Betsy Marshall. Oh my gosh, I love her. She is incredible.
Oh, because I'm going to be on the podcast next week.
Well, you tell her I'd give her a big howdy do.
I will, Sam, absolutely. She's been lovely. She understands me just like you understand me. Another sad thing is people who are the same as you and me, like autistic, we understand each other. People who are neurotypical, they don't understand things that they understand. But when we show them this, I never seen it like that. Of course you haven't.
We're in their blind spot. They refuse to merge.
That's a really, really good analogy, Sam. I love that idea because we want to be out. We don't want to be hidden, people. We want to be out. Why can't I have the same life as everybody else?
It is sad that we miss things because of other people. Why do you not think that right now people are assuming we may not get married?
Professional doctors said, we love Matteo, but we don't think he has autism. And you're the best doctor in Ontario. You're not the best doctor. You're the most idiotic doctor in Ontario, just to say that. I hear where the doctors can't. You can't do something. Huh? I can't do what? I can't go to college? Yeah.
Right. Well, you want to talk about assuming? Let's get into that a little bit. Why not? We're talking about it. So how do you think the world itself could be less of a judgmental place?
Listen, observe, and learn. We so-called listen every day. Another thing is people don't watch people's reactions when they joke. It's called bullying. If you were to say a very sarcastic remark and I go like this and I don't even smile and you laugh, I could take that the wrong way. You didn't recognize my feelings. And what your bullies do, they don't recognize people's feelings. They just keep on going. A lot of people are going to hate me for saying that. I don't care. I tell the truth and nothing but the truth. My plays, my screenwriting. Why would I lie to an audience? Why would I make the audience assume that our life is sunshine and rainbows?
We're talking about plays. Let's go into that. So, how do you create believable and compelling people along with creating interesting storylines?
Forward, it is a gift. I can't explain it because not many people can write a play about autism. Not many people can write a play at all. And Sorting It Out, for example, Sorting It Out was my first play, like you mentioned. It did go to off Broadway, but off Broadway is like a very small theater, like 100 seats or less, which is a very small area in New York. But that's not my point. These characters came to me. Sorting It Out is based on a true story that happened to me. Like, it was on a transit bus, Route 13 in Oakville, Ontario, Canada. The gentleman, he was talking down to me. We get so much of that. Just because I mentioned community living Oakville, people should be intrigued, but they're not. People are more afraid of what they don't know than they what actually do know. That goes through all my plays. For example, Sorting It Out, which is the play that went to New York. I got 6 productions starting on 7th in a few months of this play all over North America. I'm super happy for it. I'm super proud of it. I'll tell you why. The storyline and the message that makes the play. The main message in the play is words matter. Because this is how you want to be treated. What goes around comes around for the people who believe in karma. These stories should have been in the world years ago. Sadly, they're not. In fact, when we perform performed the play for the very first time, I want to tell you a story, and I tell this mostly all the interviews. I played Nick. Now, Nick is the autistic character. When the play was in, of course, we got a standing ovation, but there was two young autistic people. The dad asked both of them, did you like the play? One of them said no. He knew exactly what he meant. The autistic son liked the play, but did not like how Nick was treated on stage by Ed, who was ignorant to him with autism. When my mom told me that, I'm like, the irony and the hypocrisy that just went into my head. My mind was blown. I connect with these two people who is actually my breed, and they actually can relate to this play. I'm so happy that people are relating.
Could you tell me a scene in that play, Sorting It Out, that is promoting acceptance of autism, not the bullying with Nick? It's showing your message, treat everyone with respect.
The second last scene is more humbling experience because Ed, who was ignorant, meets Nick and actually apologizes to him and actually brings Nick a little gift in a little bag, which he uses for STEM and what I actually STEM. I'll tell you guys this is paperclip and twist, guys. I STEM. This is a black and this is a white. It's basically the colors on the wall. If it's a white wall, I use black. If it's a darker wall, I use white. There's a beautiful monologue by the end that Nick says to others, I will be there. I promise you I will be there. Even though Ed showed disgust throughout the whole play, Nick still has compassionate heart and is about repentance, which a lot of us should be doing now. You can lead a horse to water, but you cannot make them drink it. There's 3 phobias. You know what the first one is? Social phobic disorder, talking to people. Are you guys not be present? Another thing that I constantly hate is people lying. People lie to us all the time. Oh yeah, we'll do this. Nope, we'll do that. Nope. And I hate to say this, but a professor at my call and said, yeah, the government helps us. And I probably think, yeah, with our tax money. There's a scene in The Value of Money, which is my third play. It talks about that. You don't need qualifications to get by in life. You just need the knowledge and the skills to do that. Because at the end of the day, a piece of paper will get you in the door. It's okay to get qualifications, okay? But people will rely on that too much. It's better to know the knowledge and play the game right, stand out to your competitors. This is how I feel, not as a Canadian, not as an American, but as a human being, as a person with a disability. I think and weep over this world. I want peace for Christmas. Ain't gonna happen unless we all change.
When I look at the paper, when you look at knowledge,
I applaud you for saying that. Just because we talk funny or we walk funny, doesn't mean that we have a good heart. I always say this. We always have ignorance, love, hate, all these qualities inside of us. But some people have them more than others. We're human, guys.
So we heard that 2 of your plays went to Broadway. So how did you feel when you learned that 2 of your plays were going to Broadway?
That's a really good question. The play Sorting It Out was honestly in the works since 2020. When John was our director, he said, Matteo, give me a copy of Sorting It Out. I said, why? I found a theater that might give us to it for free. Sorting It Out went to New York. I had the privilege and honor of going down to see the production with my own 2 eyes. This was the first time I ever saw any of my productions live. So when I came back to Canada, I saw New York. It was a great city. Of course, the off-Broadways are like a lot more small, condensed plays in 100 seats. So I saw it live in front of my own eyes. And even before I started the play, I wept a little bit. I was like, this is a dream coming true. I'm so happy that in my heart of hearts, I don't need to go to club. I would cherish this moment forever. John was like, let's do it. And I told Don, thank you for taking a risk. But he said, it's not a risk, my friend. He was right. I'm from Ontario, Canada. I'm not a U.S. citizen. I'm not known in the U.S. I'm not known in New York. I'm an autistic person. Plus, I would play about autism. Who's going to want to see that? Turns out 2 weeks, which is Thursday through Sunday, and another Thursday through Sunday, after the one was sold out. And John shockingly said, we recouped our investments with Hale, and he made money. You can't get any better than that. To top it all off, there was a unionized production. I never ever thought I would get that. In the heart of Manhattan, and North Circle with John direct. And every playwright wants a unionized production with Actors Equity. I got it at 26 years old. I passed by some of the articles that I have in my room, and I'm like, yeah, I did all that. I'm proud of myself, and I'm humbled that people love my work. People know what I'm trying to convey. And I'll tell you another thing. While the play was going on, I cried as well. Watch these characters move. There's a part in the play that I want to weep, and there's another part that I weep at. But Ed, who's very ignorant, he says, well, let's call a spade a spade. If you think I'm inconsiderate, I think your friends, the R word. And I hate to say that, but I did that to prove a point.
That's when we get on my bad side. I'm not a guy who get mad easily, but you say that R word, we're done.
Sometimes as a writer, you have to make the audience feel uncomfortable. And that's what I did. And when that happens, and then Nick says, don't call me that. And Ed, I already did. And then this fight happens, this beautiful moment. Nick is so overwhelmed because he doesn't care until he gets a call from the doctor a few minutes after the fight happens. Believe it or not, I saw people cry, tears when they were reading a draft of the script. I went to this lady and she wept stopped. I said, so sorry that he interrupted you. He said, Matteo, don't ever be sorry. You have something here. By the way, another tidbit is when I sat at my kitchen table upstairs and I looked at this draft, I was so angry that I actually left community living hopeful that day a little bit early. Daddy, give me a piece of paper, give me a pencil, and I'm writing something down.
And those are the best stories, right? Any ones that are biographies. I mean, let's look at some good movies in the past that have been about people who are famous. Have you seen the movie with Jesse Owens? I don't remember the name, unfortunately.
Oh, I don't. I'm not a big movie guy, but I'll tell you something. I saw Wonka weeks ago in the theater. That destroyed my faith in Hollywood. Hollywood and Broadway make remake just to make one thing and one thing only. What is it? Money. But every so often, a great movie like Wonka comes out. The guy was classy, kind. He was a young Yanka. He knew how to conduct himself. It was a beautiful movie. Amazing songs. It was well done. I told Jean-Paul, who was with me, if this doesn't go to Broadway or even get workshop to Broadway in 5 to 10 years, I don't know what will. And I know that when the movie dies down, Wonka will be on stage. I have that feeling. The illusion, the architecture of the tree when it came up, the magic, the songs. Usually, I love the live theater, but I hate to go to the cinema because I hate movies. But that actually makes me even want to go to the cinema. I love it back again, which is a good thing, I think. The best thing to do is live in front of an audience. You're there. The actors are there. The sets are there. It's beautiful. Even in a movie, it could be very powerful. But movies are 2D. Like right now, I love 3D stuff.
Oh, I can't do 3D. Not because I don't like the movie, it's just the glasses. The glasses drive me nuts.
I don't like 3D movies either. It's a great invention since the telephone, okay? I think the best thing to do is you're in the room with the actors, scenery moving back and forth. Even if it's just properties like a table, a chair, a few mugs, and the actors are good and the story's good, it'll go off. I'm amazing the audience can get it and will feel the palm of the playwright's hand. And I think when we performed it live, and even in New York, they were there. They were like the fly on the wall. And I remember somebody saying, Matteo, you could hear a pin drop in that theater when you played that. And we actually had to delay the show, not because of the actors, because of the audience coming in. So for a half an hour, 30-minute play, 129 people in an auditorium, who is a government official and a critic.
I've heard you've been through some surgeries, so I want to know which was the worst surgery you had to go through.
Thank you for asking about that. Nobody has ever asked me, but I don't mind to tell people, like, yeah, I've been to 11 surgeries before today. My medical history is vast. Honestly, I can't pick one. Sometimes, Sam, I don't even know how I'm still standing with all this crap I've been through. Surgeries, medical appointments, people that put me down, fools that put me down. I don't have a favorite surgery, and I don't have a worst surgery. They're all here to fix my body, but I'll tell you this. Do I get nervous? Of course I get nervous. Not because the school system taught me to be nervous, which they did in many cases, especially to people who are vulnerable. I've been in so many situations, and it actually breaks my heart to see other special needs get angry about it. I remember this one young man, why did you bang at the bus? Now I understand. He was frustrated of people who controlled him. Be creative. Here's an illusion. Hear me out. It's all in your head. You can't hold it. You can't touch it. The same thing with failing. Failing. First attempt in learning. A lot of people don't know that. Some of my colleagues at school are afraid to fail. They won't get in the industry then. You have to be cautious risks you take. I'll give you an example. Do people think that I wanted to go to New York? Not really. But I had to go to New York. And it was a risk that I was willing to take. It paid off. People loved it. And the Hands Why sold out and we made money. $600. If most plays off of what don't do that, I don't know why. Well, I think I know why. Because sorting it out before it's New York, it has 5 productions across North America. It was like a tried and true hit. I never thought that an audience would like my play, sorting it out about autism. Who would want to see that in New York? Full sold out audiences wanted to see that in New York.
So you were bullied. And what can others who are being bullied for being different do to stop the bullying? How can we see that the bullies are the problem, not us?
Now you asked me a big question, and I'll ask you a question. It's a simple rhetorical question. Why would I have to create a play about treating people nicely when people should know how to treat people nicely?
Matteo, you're right. It shouldn't me going to speak in Orlando to learn about autism.
It dawns on me every time I know I have to do this. We don't know the answer, but we can lead to a better tomorrow, in my opinion, by learning and educating ourselves. And for the people that are bullied, I don't want to say just deal with it. Bullies don't like themselves. Why do you think they bully others? To feel the pride of themselves. And I think that goes to society. Society doesn't like itself because we are all segregated in different communities, different categories. Why can't we all be one on this planet, one person? We all have the same feelings, but we think differently. We all influence different ways. But it's up to us as humans to do something good with bad. One of the lines that most mentioned to me, society doesn't understand, so why should I? That's the line that Ed blurts out, and Bob says, so you just follow society, not have a mind of your own? Exactly. Social media is very influential. Today's music, media, TV shows are good. They forget why they're watching it.
Now I know about your screenwriting. So how did you get involved in screenwriting with the short YouTube series?
I'd love to brag about this company. It's called the Autism Theater Project. They're out of Miami. So it's actually an online company right now. We got into 2 film festivals, one of them in Miami, the other one's in LA in a few months. And I never had this much success as a writer. So it's off Broadway. But now working on a YouTube series about my high school life, and I lovingly joke that I'd do this to back my high school. No, I would never do that. Even though my high school made me angry. You know why I wouldn't want to back my high school? If it wasn't for them, the voice inside by the Autism Theater Project, I've never been. Life imitates life, imitates life. It's like a domino effect. He asked me, like, what's your story, Matteo? And I said, well, this is my story. It could be a full documentary. And he said, if you love the story so much, that it became the voice inside. And the voice inside is about Matteo, which is Matteo in English. Matteo is actually the Italian root name for Matthew, if you look that up. But Gina, who has a company, she's my age. Gina Sims is a lovely. She's in her heart's in the right place. She knows what she's doing, and she knows what benefit is to happen. And the film is about how different eyes and age and different sets are navigating life. Whether you have autism, dyslexia, Down syndrome, and neurotypicals. Some of the stuff that actually happened to me in my high school, I don't want to give too much away. Some of the stuff that they said to me, some of the stuff that they did to me is in the first episode of the film. If you guys want to look up Autism Theater Project, please do. We are looking for new members. Anybody can join. Email Gina and we'll be your spark. I'm one of the board members. We meet every week. If you want to do some cool things, we are trying to get this on a regular TV station.
I'm going to ask you for a favor, Matteo. Could you please talk to Gina about the Autism Theater Project and to let her on notice about this amazing podcast going on?
I would love for you to be a part of the company too, Sam. We can chat about that after. That is a Zoom company right now. It's all on Zoom and everything.
There's a couple things I want to talk to you about real quickly, and that is your singing. So I hired you to make music, and why don't you tell us about this amazing Spotify channel you got?
That's very kind of you, Sam. I am a singer-songwriter. I don't plan to be a singer-songwriter. I don't plan to get on radio. Radio is very hard to get on because of the politics in the entertainment industry. But I'll tell you something for the people who want to get into this. This is what I believe. It's who you know that loves you, not likes you, that loves you or loves your work that can do something for you. I say a lot of people breathe hot air, or they open their mouths and let the flies come in. It makes sense that this industry is like that, but it shouldn't be that way. I was writing music, believe it or not, writing songs on the piano, writing plays. I was doing that since the end of elementary school, beginning of high school. I'm in college right now. I'm 26. That was many moons ago. I always loved music, and writing comes naturally to me at music. So in my opinion, it didn't even dawn on me that I was writing plays about autism. It didn't even dawn on me that I had autism until beginning of my high school. When they plowed me in special ed, that's how people don't want to put in the work just to own their craft and make something out of themselves. And they look at us like, oh, that's too much. Guys, break it down. People don't look at the steps. And you cannot get viral like that unless you have a really cool video. Viral would be awesome. The viral things may not last. And you might not be as proud of it as much.
Great example, TikTok.
I'm not even kidding you. I agree. A lot of people post rap on TikTok. I love TikTok for what it is. It's a great piece of technology, but people don't know how to use it properly. And they love to argue. The world lacks love. You don't have a way for Valentine's Day to love people.
Before we go to a commercial, this is going to be for fun here. With your music, if you could open for any famous celebrity, who would it be and why?
Congratulations, Sam. You just stuffed me. I don't know. That's a really, really good question. Good on you.
You'll have to think about that, and then you'll text me the answer later tonight, right?
Yeah. I hope I can. I remember my music teacher said, imagine a world without music. We can't. Not even without a stop our feet.
It actually reminds me of what my creative writing teacher said. If you get rid of the music of the songs, it's just a poem.
There's more to in life than just to entertain.
Now, folks, we're right back here at ad from the Doug Flutie Jr. Autism Foundation, so let's get to it. At the Doug Flutie Autism Foundation, Massachusetts, people are receiving hope. The organization was established in 1998 by Doug Flutie, a former quarterback for Boston College and the NFL, and his wife, Lori, in the memory of their son, Dougie, who was diagnosed with the autism at the age of 3. The goal of the Flutie Foundation is to improve the quality of life for those with autism and their families. The biggest action they like to do is give grants and host their annual Stars on the Spectrum golf event. Our goal is to offer chances for school and social activity outside of school or work, a path for education or employment during the day, and the resources needed to always feel safe, support, and informed, the Doug Flutie Jr. Autism Foundation said. Make sure to visit them or their website, www.flutiefoundation.org, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or even YouTube to see all the stars they had to offer. Hi, this is my testimony. This would be my testimony for the Doug Flutie Jr. Autism Foundation. All right, closer back. You might be Doug Flutie there. You never know. Matteo, what I did is, let's be honest, your EAs treat you like crap. What do you wish the EAs did back then to help you out?
Good question. And I believe I have a good answer to that. If they gave me time, just to show my talent and my gifts to them, as in writing, because they are blind. See my writing. There's a lot of stories that I can tell with elementary and high school. They were so rough and rude to me. And I actually feel bad for all the special needs kids that actually get treated bad from any person, whether it's a friend, a bully. And even though you're an educational assistant, that doesn't exclude you guys, especially includes you. Bring your A game, bring your personality, but one of the things that I would say is listen to us and observe what we're doing, because unless it's unsafe or harmful, let us do it.
And you know what? Matteo could be the smartest person in the room right now.
I don't try to be that, but it's about being logical. It's about being ethical. I don't even think that I'm smart, believe it or not. I think that actually I'm stupid because of the people that showed me I was stupid and made me believe for many, many years that I couldn't go to college, couldn't go to the university, and couldn't go to Broadway. Well, I was a C student in my high school, mostly 67. That was the magical number. It wasn't. I even cried. Why can't they understand it? Why can't they give me more support? But of course, I had to play the game. And you know what that game is? Do as they say, not as I want.
I want to know now about some loud noises. So you said loud noises bother you. So what exact loud noises? Is it people screaming? Is it air horns? Is it
That's a good question.
alarms? What is it?
If I don't know what's coming, like if there's a fire alarm and it goes off, I would be sure for that. People should know when you're dealing with a special needs person, especially a person with autism, that people should know that, learn what they like and dislike. Learn that they are sensitive to loud noises. Be aware of that. Because then, in their heart of hearts and in their mind, they will thank you. They might not say it out loud, but I know that they're going to give you a look at general response. I hated stuff that was rushed and pickling. I think, honestly, Sam, in my personal opinion, I think that's great because, I'll tell you something. Do I want to have all this stuff? No, of course not. I want to go like this and have people imitate me and people stare at me, talk through their head. Eh? What are you doing? You don't want that? No. I would not wish autism on my own worst enemy. Loud noises do bother me when I was a kid. I'm getting used to it now as I'm a lot older. Like sometimes in carpentry, for example, I'm entitled to a computer school and perhaps we have band solder. I beg somebody would say noise and then they would do the machine. I hate when somebody comes around, boo, or jump scares. I freaking hate that. Pranks like that.
Game style's the worst for me too. If someone goes blue, it's like, really? And I'm a guy who likes to do it, so I got to get used to getting it back. And hey, for future note, I'll remember not to do that to you.
Well, thank you. I dare tell you, all of you guys, that people are taught to be comfortable. People are not taught to be uncomfortable, but people are taught to be afraid.
Now, I got to hear about someone you wanted me to mention. I think after digging some digging, he's pretty important to you. Actually, two people. Jeff Maiden and the Jersey Boys. So my first is, what has Jeff Maiden done for you, professionally and personally? And I heard about something about the Jersey Boys. Let's just say they paid the piper with the card.
I always get emotional with this story, though, so bear with me, because it brings me back to a sense of not childhood, but a sense of wanting to go after your dream. What I learned over the years is the battle between me and my career. I think Jeff Madden was a very important influence. He touched me up here and up here. Things like this do not happen. He told me what Frankie Valli told him. Be confident. Believe in yourself. So it was in the beginning of grade 7, in August of 2008, 2009, around there. I was moving into a new school where, of course, my class bullied me. But the number one thing that happened, he came to my school. I wasn't a family. He played Frankie Valli. If for 6 nights a week, there was an alternator. If you saw the show, you know that there's a Frankie Valli alternate. He had the voice because of the acting, because of the acting, especially because of the voice half of the song, a song in falsetto. That's what Frankie Valli sang back in the day. But it's a very high rate. He was extremely talented. And oh God, I'm sorry, Sam. It just makes me want to weep. What he did was he came to me out of his busy schedule and he visited me in my classroom and he took the time and he taught class for a good half hour to an hour. I thank God for sending him. Honestly, it must have been an angel. And he still is. He's a fantastic, lovely, lovely man. And of course, Jersey Boys is the story of Frankie Valli, probably with Nick Massey. 4 seasons, Frankie Valli in 4 seasons. First of all, amazing show. Yeah, I played the part of Frankie. He sang the high parts if you see the show. And I think the show is about dreams. People say it's about family. Yes, it is about family, but it's also about dreams. I'm just so happy that he came. I want to dive into the story even a little bit more deeper because I think it's important for people to know that we need to inspire each other. We need to give the people the confidence to, you can do it, of course you can, and actually mean it. Jeff Madden, the thing about him was, of course he plays Frankie, but that man is probably responsible for my career and what I do today. It's truly a special moment, and I will honestly cherish his whole story and the whole legacy of Jersey Boys. This also gets me emotional. And I was like, Jack, why did you come to my school? He told me. I felt like it was the right thing to do.
It probably was the right thing to do.
I agree, because I was in grade 7, grade 8. to battle to achieve what they want to achieve and not be held back by limits. Sorry.
Ain't bothering me.
Thank you. I'm autistic. I'm 26. I have a whole life ahead of me. I had a whole life behind me. If I can do it, you can do it too. Like, come on. And those are my real tears. I cry every time somebody mentions a subject. Not because they mention it, because it gets me here and here. Help people, whether they have special needs or not.
We got to bring this up too. The time you ended up in a mental health unit.
Yeah.
When did that happen, buddy?
Wanting to commit suicide because in my last year of high school, I was ready because I always wanted to go to Sharon. I always wanted to go to college, and they didn't let me do that since the day I walked out of that friggin' high school. This is the life that I had to bear. I don't like it, but I learned a lot from it. I learned resilience. I learned grit. People say, when life throws you lemons, you make lemonade. You know what I say? When life throws you lemons, throw them out the window and achieve your dreams anyway.
Let me ask you this. Do you think the lemonade could be a Band-Aid?
What do you mean?
When you say, like, when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade, you say to take the lemons and throw them out the window. So I'm wondering, do you think the lemonade is a Band-Aid?
That's a good point. That could be a Band-Aid, but try and achieve your dreams anyway. Like, I have tons of stories. Good, bad, funny, sad. Like, my life has been a roller coaster ride, and it hasn't stopped since.
Well, you also were talking about listening to yourself. So how can we convince those like us that listening to yourself is better sometimes than listening to the system? Because, excuse my bluntness, you got robbed by the system.
I did. But in my opinion, if you're good at drawing, take drawing art classes. But also, you never know who you're going to meet. You take those risks. Like, go to an art convention. You cannot touch it. You cannot mold it.
No, you can't touch it, but your brain can.
But we cannot study the brain. What I mean by that is, we're not Frankenstein. We cannot take it out. We can make scans of the brain. That's why every brain is unique. If we could study the brain, we would have to take yours, mine, my dad, Uncle Bob, Auntie Sam, test them with chemicals, and say, that's why people do it. In my history of being on Earth, I don't think we ever find a technology that we can actually truly, and I mean truly, study the brain. Because if we did, we would have to split, and that's murder. Unless you want to do that, but I don't. We can't study the brain. Instead of assume, why don't people listen to other people's stories? Try something that would challenge yourself. Even a magic trick, even a card trick, a coin trick. I love when people say, whoa, that's cool. I can't do it. Of course you can. It takes practice. It takes determination. The Rocky movie, Rocky Balboa, one of the greatest inspirational stories. Everybody who knows the Rocky story should know it. But I believe Sylvester Stallone had to sell his dog just to make the movie. I believe he wanted his dog back. The sacrifice that he had to go through. I'll tell you another thing. The sacrifice that Frankie Valli had. Let's be honest here. I've stolen before. You must be a criminal then. I'm not. I stole from a hotel. When I was watching a documentary on Frankie Valli, the reporter said, minor crime, stealing. And Frankie Valli said, yes. I wept. It gets me emotional like that. I just would think about it. Like, I relate so much to the man. He's 89 and he's still dabbing things. Whether it's the lip singing or not, I don't really care. Give the guy props for standing in front of an audience.
He's 89. I wanted they're asking him for too much.
Well,
give him 89 years. He deserves some slack.
But if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life.
So you also went to an adult school. How did the adult school make you feel more comfortable and shows that this was not going to be like it was as a child in school?
Good question. They treated me like gold. My high school, like I said, treated me like dirt.
What did they do to treat you like gold? Did they make you feel comfortable? Like, what did they give you accommodations? What did they do, man?
Number one, they believed in me. Number two, they did provide me accommodation. They said, you want to do this? Here are the steps to get there. And we will be with you right by your side. My high school was, you want to do that? Huh? Instead of, you want to do that? Okay, let's do it. I'll even give you extra support. Thank you. That's all I asked.
I wish I could have been there because I would have been by your side, buddy.
Me too.
Now, folks, we'll be right back. We got one more ad. That'll be the Rock 96.1 radio station. So let's hear from them. We want to thank 96.1 The Quarry, especially David and Dan Hayes, for being a gold sponsor for our Summerfest. 96.1 resides in Bloomington, Indiana, and like Autism Rocks and Rolls, they rock and roll too. Visit their website, rock96.fm.com. Listen to them live on their website or catch them on the radio in your car. If you like Kiss, Ween, 80s rock, or ZZ Top, I think you have found your station. 96.1 supports our veterans, so you should support them too. Visit 96.1 and keep on rocking. All right, folks, everybody will definitely rock out to this radio station. Matteo, there's a certain podcast I heard about that you were on that I was on, the Unmute Your Mic. So I want to know, what you're on the Unmute Your Mic podcast?
That was a great podcast. Well, I've been on some amazing podcasts. Another thing is contact the people that you wish to contact. If they don't email me back, go to the next one. And that's what I do with all my connections. I don't have an agent. I do not have an agent. An agent would put a book on their shelf, wait 20 years and discover you later. That's one of the things that they'll do. Or they put you in a catalog, floating it out. Nah, but autism. But it's really good. Nah, it's about autism. Right. All the production that I've got over the years, I've got. This is what I do. Would you like to read my play? Most of the they say no, like you said, but sometimes you would get a really fabulous yes.
And truth be told, when you're us, that's all we can ask for is a yes. We've been told no most of our life. All we want is one yes, and that's it.
People don't want to give us a chance. But when they read a play like mine, so it's actually really good. I remember somebody said, "How did you do it?" I felt like saying, "Don't ask me how I did it, but remember how it made you feel."
There are some days where I like working 10 times harder, but there are also days where I hate working 10 times harder.
I think that goes for everybody. Another thing is it comes out in The Value of Many. I actually wanted to read you something. I have The Value of Many right here in book form. Do you mind, Dan?
Please do.
I want to hammer this point home, my friend. And I think it makes sense. So the car scene is one of my favorite scenes in the whole show. Is because of this line. Dexter, who is an arrogant businessman. So just frame the scene for you. Dexter and Larson, two businessmen. So Dexter is the owner of this business. Larson is the business associate. Both of them are in a car together. It's pouring rain. No autistic people around. It's just them in the car. And the audience is looking at them as if they were flies on the wall. If they were raindrops in the audience. They were kicking into the story. And they're arguing about Larson wants Dexter to hire special people. Then Dexter says, Larson, in my company, it's about how we can make businesses grow. And of course, always hiring these people will bring our company down and crush it. And Larson says, well, first things first, money isn't everything. And Dexter interrupting, money is everything. I mean, how am I supposed to pay my bills without working? Larson smartly says, that's people with special needs are asking themselves. Same question. That's my mom's favorite line. That's my favorite thing in the play because there's so much honesty in this play, in all of my plays, including Moonchild. And I'll tell you the story about that. So I adapted a poem. It was a 2-minute autism youth poem, and I decided to be dusty and contact this guy in the comments, like I always do. Like, hi, my name is Very I see Matteo. I'm flattered that you want to make my thing into a play. Here's my website, and we'll set up a full. We did, and he gave me the rights like that. It was such a nice man, Brian. And he's a very inspirational guy, TEDx speaker, New York Times bestselling author, G. Brian Benson. And I even mailed him a copy of Moonchild, and I signed it for him. I said, hey, thank you. And it actually got an award in Massachusetts, an honorable mention, in a reading contest. I never seen that play live. I never seen any of my plays live except Sorting It Out in New York. That's all. So my goal is to have more people read my plays, discovering my work by using these podcasts and using these platforms. I saying there could be a voice in you, Matteo, that people have never heard. People are curious about the people that they don't know about.
2 things. Have you ever considered doing a TED Talk? Because you have some views that need to be told.
I would love to, but I don't know how to get started. I don't know how to get in. I don't mind to talk to high school students and everything. I would love to be an inspirational speaker. If anybody is listening here, Sam, I would love to you to put my email on the bottom of this podcast. They can contact me for a free script. Would love to have more productions, especially in schools, because I think my plays are so educational. It's honest, and people need to hear these stories coming from an authentic voice.
Number 2, have you heard of Temple Grandin?
Yes, I have.
Have you met her before?
No. And I'll tell you why. First of all, I think he's a great autistic spokesperson. No offense to Dr. Grandin, but she's not the be-all and end-all of autism. There's a lot more people that want to tell the stories, but people look up to her because she's a well-known figure. And how would we get well-known if nobody takes a chance on us?
Well, someone's taking a chance on you right now.
You're included on that.
We're going to wrap her up here, but these are for fun. But Tia, what is your paradise meal or favorite food, and why is it your favorite?
Okay, I'll tell you. I love to eat. I'm Italian, so I love eating.
You're right, your brother.
I'm Italian. Not that I'm a big guy. What way doesn't matter in my opinion. I love sweets. I love chocolate. Cheesecake. I would cakes, cookies, juice. I could eat a whole box of sweets, but they have to be good. Like it's like your favorite song, but it has to be a good meal.
Now, what is your favorite vacation you've ever taken, and why did you enjoy that vacation very much?
I don't really like to travel, but I'll say New York because I got to experience my plays. It's one thing to see a Broadway show. There's another one to be part of the theater scene in New York. Are these from Canada, US, Britain, Australia, England, New Zealand, Italy, Japan? It's the honor to be in that season of shows and to be in that realm of you played in New York with an equity cast and a play for 2 weeks. I was so happy. And I got to see Wicked on Broadway. It's a great show if you haven't seen it. Great design. Like when you walk into the theater, you see a big dragon looming and this beautiful set in New York. On tour, the dragon comes with the show. It's a separate drag. Wicked has 14 tractor trailers just to carry the Broadway musical across North America. Costumes, lighting, sets, automation, props, effects, illusions. The dragon's the scene as well. And then I believe another truck for merchandise, programs and t-shirts. Like I believe Lion King had 21 when it started on the world. Lion King, the musical, started with 21. I believe now they have 18. Once the musical, it's amazing how you can take a show from Broadway and actually plug it into a truck and take it on the road. It actually all breaks down into pieces to put it into a truck. Any show that goes into it, whether it's Mary Poppins on Broadway, the only show that is that is going to go in an action crew that didn't have an action crew before is Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. If it comes to your city, go see it. I don't want to give too much of the magic away, but a lot of the magic happens inside the audience, including the Dementors, and that's our little favorite show, near the end of the first act. Okay? I'll tell you about the locations of the productions. A sit-down production is it starts on a day, and if it sells out, then the company would extend it. If it doesn't, then the company would close it. Harry Potter, from what I hear, is the longest-running professional equity play in Canada and movies presented. And people don't know this. If you know what Come From Away is, it's a musical based in Ghana, Newfoundland, which is a small Canadian maritime city. It's about 9/11, but it's not about really 9/11. It's a beautiful, heartwarming story. It actually started in my college. I actually saw the paint teacher today. He designed the set in the studio theater. After did the first workshop at Heritage College in Oakville, Ontario, Canada. I believe the Hoyle Playhouse was set costume lighting. This industry loves people or stuff that they shouldn't love. They vote on their friends. They vote on the people who they know.
It's a popularity contest.
Exactly. I know who's going to bring that play forward. I don't care about the awards. Nominating to me is like winning.
With what you've been through, nominating should be enough.
I got 3 articles. I got a lot of stuff that people look at and say, wow, you did this. Am I proud of it? Yes. Am I humbled that people like my work? Yes. Do I want people to pick up my work more? Of course. But it's hard because people don't necessarily want an honest play about autism in the theater.
I got my final question here, and that is, are there any good memories that you want to tell our viewers about? If you do, why do you remember that memory the most? So before you answer, please end with a funny memory that made you fall on the floor laughing, and then like a good memory just made you feel good inside.
Okay, I have 2.
Better away, buddy.
Honestly, one of them is, of course, Thursday Boys and Josh Madden. And I don't want to bring this up to pride, but he said, Matteo, this was the career that he wanted. He said, I want to basically sing from my heart to yours. Here's your career, but you have to fight to get in. And of course, all artists have to fight. People don't want to hear the fighting story. People just want to hear the flock and the gold and the silver. People don't want to even discover the diamond in the rough, but sometimes there's a diamond in the rough. Now, funny memory, I had to go to high school to do this one, but it made me laugh my head off. One of the lifeless special ed students we were walking outside on the trail, and this is how innocent we kind of are as a specialist breed. One of the teachers said, oh, look, these acorns. One of the special needs who didn't even realize he was saying it was, what a mess. And I laughed my friggin' head off. The memorable moment in my high school, there were very few.
At least there was something, because hey, in my view, something's better than nothing.
I have 2 more people to tell you. So we talked about Jeff Madden, but there's 2 other people that are near and dear to my heart. One is Anthony Tulo. Anthony Tulo directed Sorting It Out, the original production Sorting It Out. That was his first play that he directed. He's a country rock artist from Canada, played the Oakville Center for the Performing Arts, sold out in an instant. He had some great tours. I invite you to look him up. He's my uncle, but he also is a great entertainer and a great filmmaker as well. And he also created an indie flick called A Secret Class, which I would love to put on stage one day, but that actually way down the road. He has been so helpful to me, so grateful to me, and he's been so good with his advice. Another one is another dear friend of mine who's actually disabled, Don Paul Flatless, who was a producer of mine. I knew him for 8 years. Jeff Madden, I knew since I was in grade 7. And he's seen me grow up. Don Paul produced the original production, Sorting It Out. He put $5,000 government money just to make this play happen.
Well, my friend, I think that's a great way to close off. But before we do, is there any closing remarks that you want to say? You got the floor, buddy.
Work hard, never give up, and have confidence. Aside from this society crap that society throws a curveball at you, take it for what it is. It's not going to hit you in the face right smack dead center. If you draw it the right way, you might pass the obstacle. If the other one for our neurotypical folks out there, listen to what we have to say. Our parents know who we are. They know us, but do they have autism or do they deal with us with autism? My mother and my father deal with me as an autistic person, right? But they don't know what's going on by being 24/7 and try and get to know us and understand us. Because in my opinion, the more you understand, the more you can keep it in the back of the brain. And I'll end on a good note, because you'll never know when you'll hear the words, I'm autistic. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, my friend. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining for this episode. Please tune in for another episode coming very soon. And when you're listening to me ramble, thank you very much.